Hello and welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'll be sculpting a monster based on viewer input. So this monster was previously created on a live stream and I let my viewers decide on what attributes this little monster had. All right, we'll get started right after this. So I started out by softening up my clay, and then I took some foil, rolled it up into kind of an oval egg-shaped ball, and then I'm going to use my clay to cover that for the body of our monster. Now, like I said, this was previously a live stream, so I started off kind of with the basics, and then I would ask my viewers like how many legs, heads, number of eyes, just different attributes, kind of interacted with them as I was sculpting it to see what to do. So we decided this monster would have 4 legs, and I went with kind of like elephant legs, or just kind of like just little stumps. So I rolled those out into a snake, started attaching those, so he's going to stand like an elephant, and I'm just using my ball tool to attach those, smooth those in, so that way they're nice and firm on there and they don't break off. And I went ahead and did it for the other 2 legs as well. And then I want to go ahead and start working on his head. So I rolled out another ball of foil, used some wire to give him some support, covered that ball with some clay, and then pressed that on. The next thing I'm going to do is mark out his eyes. They decided we're going to have 3 eyes on this monster, so I'm using a ball tool. And you'll see off to the side there, I've got some pre-sculpted, pre-baked monster parts. So I'm using those pre-baked eyes to attach those. The next thing I'm going to do is his mouth. So I'm sculpting out his mouth. They wanted to give him an underbite, or wanted me to give him an underbite. So I'm doing a little bit of indentation where I'm going to put some teeth sticking out. So I'm just doing some spiky teeth jutting out from under his lip. So I'm going to go through, press those in, just have a few of them, a little bit of a gap there. And then I'm going to add his lower jaw and lower lip. Smooth that in with a ball tool so it looks like it's all one piece. Once I was happy with the shape of the mouth, I went ahead and added some indentions to the lips. Now I'm going to add his ears. So I just rolled out a little circle, cut it in half. And these are what I would do for like teddy bears. Use that ball tool to make an indentation in the center. Then I just take my little ball tool and smooth these in. So again, it attaches to his head. I can also use a rubber tool to kind of smooth that in so it's not quite as rough as a ball tool. I usually switch back and forth between tools to get the results I want. Now I want to add a little horn to him. I believe this again was requested by the viewers. And so I decided to do this kind of a bigger horn, thicker horn. And I was just going to do an indentation and put it in there, but then I decided I want to have like a little ring around it. So I put a little piece of clay in there, did an indentation with the ball tool, pressed the horn in. I'm really happy with that. Going to add some little cracks or little, ridges on there to add a little more detail to it. And then I'm going to go ahead and sculpt out his tail. So we're going to give him a tail, and they want him to have spikes in there. So I took some of my little teeth, or the pieces I had made out for teeth, and cut them down in half. And they're going to be his spikes. I'm going to smooth this tail on, and then we decided he should have the spikes on the back as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for those. I'm going to cut these little teeth in half and then press them into his back. But I use a small ball tool to give me like a little area to kind of push them into, so they would slide into there. And then I just took my other ball tool to smooth them in, to kind of get that clay to be pressed against there so it forms, so I didn't get any of these falling out later on. Got a little bit of a close-up here to see how I did that. And since I was messing around with the ball tool, we decided I would add some texture to it. So the top half of this monster has this indented texture from the ball tool. And I love doing textures, and textures make the sculpt more interesting, but it's also a good way to cover up some flaws. So after I was done texturing that, we decided we're going to add some texture with a toothbrush. And what we're going to do with that is do it below the ball texture. So like his lower half is textured with a toothbrush. This will give him a bunch of little indentions. I like using toothbrushes for textures. It'll work for several different projects. All right, this guy's all done, so I'm going to go ahead and bake him according to package instructions. Now, this was off the live stream, so afterwards I let him cool down, and then I went ahead and glossed his eyes, just use that Sculpey gloss coat, and then I wanted to have some like saliva coming out of him, so I wanted to gloss his teeth and put that into his mouth, and I just gooped it all in there. I even poured some in there to let it drip out. And then once I was happy with that, I'm going to go ahead and let that dry overnight. And here is the finished monster from my first Let's Make a Monster live stream that the viewers decided to call him Regaroth. So the name was decided before I baked him, obviously. So maybe he would have been changed to Slobbery Mouth, but we're going to go with Regaroth. I had a lot of fun making this guy. I had a lot of fun getting, ideas from the viewers. For some different reasons, I will not be doing live streams again, at least not for a while. But I do want to revisit this series, so I'm going to share some of my favorites here on my channel like I did with this guy, and then later come up with a way for the viewers to help me decide on what monster to make for my Let's Make a Monster series. Alright, well thanks for watching, and remember, never stop creating. Bye!
Hi, I'm just the monster at the end of the video. Yeah, kind of like the monster at the end of this book. Well, my name's William, and I really want you to subscribe to Andrew's channel. He'd greatly appreciate that. Also, be sure to check out these other videos and content he's got. It'd be awesome. Okay, see you next time.